Hello and welcome to the UW-Madison Competitive Sports Wallyball Rules. Game format. There will be two teams of not more than 4 players. A match will consist of 3 games using rally point scoring. The first 2 games are played to 25 points. The first to 25 points wins. If the third game is necessary, it will be played to 15 points. First team to 15 points wins. The best 2 out of 3 games wins. The team that is leading when the 45-minute time limit is up will win. If time expires, the team leading at that point will be declared the winner of that game. If the game is tied, one more serve will occur. Each team may call 2 30-second timeouts per match. No timeouts may be called during the last minute of play. For all playoff tournament play, the first 2 games will be played to 25 points and teams must win by 2 points, or first to 30 points. The third game will be played to 15 points and teams must win by 2 points, or first to 20. Equipment. No jewelry. A player shall not wear anything that may be dangerous to him or herself or another player. This includes jewelry, watches, metal cleats, caps, or bandanas. Shoes must be worn. No sandals, boots, or bare feet permitted. Competitive sports will furnish game balls. Bring your own equipment for warm-up. Volleyballs are available for checkout in the towel room of the locker room with your whisk card, but check in with the supervisor first. The court. The back wall is only in play on the side of the team that is returning the service or volley, provided a player on that team touches the ball before it hits the back wall. If a player contacts the ball in such a manner that the ball deflects off the back wall on his or her side of the court and goes over the net, the ball shall be considered live and in play. The ceiling is only in bounds on the side of the team that is returning the serve or volley, provided that a player on that team touches the ball before it hits the ceiling. Playing the walls. Contacting 2 or more walls with the ball is permitted only by the team that is in possession of the ball on their own side. If the ball crosses the net after contacting 2 or more walls without making contact with a player, a point side out will be awarded. Games will be played in a racquetball court, and all other court rules will be followed if not listed. Out of bounds. The ball will be considered out of bounds if it hits the ceiling or back wall on the opponent's side, or 2 or more walls consecutively on the serve, volley, or block. The serve. A coin toss will determine serve and side of play. Teams will change serves and playing areas for subsequent games. The server shall stand at the back of the end line and may serve from any spot behind that line. The server has 5 seconds after the referee's signal to initiate the serve. The server cannot step on the service line when serving. The server must finish contacting the ball before touching the court. Jump serves are illegal. A reserve shall be called when the server releases the ball for service, then catches it or drops it to the floor. The server is allowed a new 5 seconds for the reserve. A reserve is considered to be part of the single attempt to serve. Therefore, after a referee signal for service, no request for timeouts or substitution may be recognized until after the ball has been served. An exception for this is if the wrong server is going to serve, but the team corrects the mistake before the 5 seconds, the substitution is legal, but the next server only has 1 serving attempt. Players on the serving team shall not perform actions which intentionally screen or obstruct their opponent's view of the server. A serve ball that hits the net or passes over the net is an illegal serve. A serve ball may contact 1 sidewall on either side of the net legally as long as it doesn't touch the net. Contacting the ball. Legal contact is a touch of the ball by any part of the player's body that does not allow the ball to visibly come to rest or involve prolonged contact with a player's body. A block is not considered one of the 3 legal hits. Multiple contacts are more than 1 contact from the forearm to forearm by a player during one attempt to play the ball. Players are allowed to have multiple contacts on the first ball over, including a serve, a tip, or a hard-driven spike, provided there is no finger action. Simultaneous contact is more than 1 contact of the ball made at the same instant. Like when a player contacts the ball with 2 or more parts of the same body at the same instant, it is permitted and considered 1 hit, except for a block, which does not count as a hit. When teammates contact the ball at the same instant, it is permitted and considered 1 hit, except a block, which does not count as a hit. Any player may make the next hit. Any contact with the ball below the waist of a player is illegal and will be a point side out. Illegal hits. Blocking, spiking, and or attacking a serve are all considered illegal. A set must never change direction when touching the player. It must be in one direction and in fluid movement. A set may not roll off the fingertips. Net play. A player shall not contact a ball which is completely on the opponent's side of the net unless the contact is a legal block. Blocking a ball which is entirely on the opponent's side of the net is permitted when the opposing team has had an opportunity to complete its attack. The attack is considered complete when the attacking team has completed its 3 allowable hits, The attacking team has had the opportunity to spike the ball or, in the official's judgment, directs the ball with intent to return it to the opponent's court, or if the ball is falling near the net and, in the official's judgment, no member of the attacking team could make a play on the ball. A player may touch the floor across the center line or its out-of-bounds extension with one or both feet or hands, provided a part of the foot or hand remains on or above the center line. Contacting the floor across the center line or its out-of-bounds extension with any part of the body is illegal. Contacting the net or any part of it, including net supports, while the ball is in play is prohibited. The exception to this is if the net is touched by a player's hair, or unless the force of the ball by an opponent pushes the net or its supports into a player. Correct rules. To start the game, the number of men and women on the court may differ by no more than one. A minimum of 2 players are required at all times. For serves, the rotation must be male-female in a clockwise rotation. The exception is if the number of players is odd, no more than 2 persons of the same gender may serve consecutively. Substitutions. Officials must be notified for a substitution. All substitutions will be made at the back center position. All substitutions must make 1 complete rotation. Players arriving late may only enter at the center back position when his or her team has the serve. The free substitution rule is in effect, meaning you may sub any number of times. Fouls and misconduct. A yellow-red card system for sportsmanship conduct will be in place. Officials may issue a yellow card warning or a red card ejection for the following offenses: verbally abusing another player, teammate, or spectator, persistently breaking the rules, showing by word or action dissent from any decision given by the official, or is guilty of unsportsmanlike behavior. If the officials give 2 yellow cards or 1 red card to the same person, whether it be a player, substitute, coach, or fan, that person will be ejected from the remainder of the contest. The person must also meet with a recreational sports staff member to be reinstated. And this concludes the Intramural Sports Wallyball Captains Meeting. The Captains Quiz found in IM leagues must be completed with a score of 80% or higher before a team can be created. Feel free to contact the IM webmaster at imsports@recsports.wis.edu with your questions or concerns. Thank you and have a stupendous day.